Chinese companies sold 90% of all humanoid robots on Earth last year. Not 60%. Not 75. 90. One company alone, Unitree, shipped more humanoid robots than Tesla, Figure AI, and Agility Robotics combined. Meanwhile, across the Pacific, a startup just raised $15 million to solve a problem most people don't even know exists. How do you give an AI agent a wallet? How do you let software buy things without asking a human for permission? The answer to that question might matter more than the robots themselves. This week, the future of autonomous machines got a lot more real, both the bodies and the bank accounts. Let's break it down. On February 5th, Sapiom announced a $15 million funding round led by Excel, with participation from some of the biggest names in tech: Okta Ventures, Gradient Ventures, Anthropic, Coinbase Ventures, Array Ventures, and Menlo Ventures. That's a remarkable investor list for a seed round, and it tells you something about what these firms see coming. So what does Sapiom actually do? The company was founded by Elon Zerbib, who spent 5 years as Shopify's director of engineering for payments, so he knows the payments infrastructure space deeply. He launched Sapiom last summer in San Francisco with a specific mission: build the financial infrastructure that lets AI agents buy things on their own. Here's the problem they're solving. Every time an AI agent needs to use an external service, send a text through Twilio, spin up a server on AWS, access a data API, pull information from a database, it requires two things: authentication and payment. Right now, that's a manual process. A human has to set up the API key, configure the payment method, approve the transaction. It creates friction at every step. Sapiom wants to eliminate that entirely. Their platform provides a suite of APIs and a management dashboard that lets enterprises set budgets, spending rules, and approval thresholds for their AI agents. Think of it like a corporate credit card system, but designed specifically for non-human employees. The AI decides what tools it needs, evaluates the options, makes the purchase, and gets to work. No human in the loop for routine transactions. As Excel partner Amit Kumar put it, in the future, apps are going to consume services which require payments. Right now, there's no easy way for agents to actually access all of that. He emphasized the scope of the opportunity. If you really think about it, every API call is a payment. Every time you send a text message, it's a payment. Every time you spin up a server for AWS, it's a payment. Sapiom is building the rails to make all of those payments happen, autonomously, at scale, across thousands of different services. This is the first time venture capital has funded the economic layer for AI agents, not the agents themselves, but the infrastructure that lets them operate as independent economic actors. That's a significant shift in how the industry thinks about AI. Up until now, AI agents have been tools, sophisticated tools, yes, but still fundamentally extensions of human intent. You tell the agent what to do, it does it, it reports back. The human remains in control of every significant decision, especially anything involving money. Sapiom represents something different, the beginning of AI agents as autonomous participants in the economy. The implications are substantial. When an agent can make its own purchasing decisions, even within defined parameters, it changes the relationship between humans and AI systems. The agent isn't just executing commands anymore. It's making resource allocation decisions. It's evaluating trade-offs between different tools and services. It's optimizing for goals in ways that require economic judgment. That's a fundamentally different kind of capability. Sapiom is starting with B2B applications, which makes sense from a risk perspective. Enterprises already trust agents with complex tasks, and they have the governance structures to manage autonomous spending. But the company has indicated this could eventually extend to personal AI agents handling consumer transactions, ordering an Uber, shopping on Amazon, managing subscriptions, paying bills. The infrastructure being built today will determine how much economic agency AI systems have tomorrow. Sapiom plans to launch a limited beta with select enterprise customers in the coming months, with a broader rollout later in 2026. The company is positioning itself to work with what they call vibe coding companies, startups building AI agents that will eventually be tasked with doing many things on their own. The real test will be adoption. How quickly do companies trust AI agents to spend money autonomously? And what happens when those agents start making purchasing decisions at scale? The infrastructure is being built. Now the market has to decide how much autonomy it's willing to grant. So the economic layer for AI agents is getting serious venture funding. But here's the thing about autonomous systems. The software is only half the equation. At some point you need physical presence. You need bodies that can move through the real world. And when it comes to building those bodies at scale, there's a clear leader emerging, and it's not who most people would expect. The numbers are striking. According to data from research firms Omdia, IDC and Counterpoint, between 13,000 and 18,000 humanoid robots were sold globally in 2025. Nearly 90% of them were Chinese. 6 of the highest-selling companies in the entire sector were from China. Unitree, a company based in Hangzhou, led the market with 5,500 units sold, the first time the company has publicly disclosed its sales figures. Shanghai-based Agibot came second with over 5,000 units. Shenzhen manufacturers UB Tech Robotics and Liju Robotics secured third and fourth place. Together, Chinese companies dominated the market in a way that few predicted even 2 years ago. For comparison, Tesla's overall production target was 5,000 Optimus units for 2025. They didn't hit it. Unitree and Agibot each exceeded that target individually. American companies like Figure AI and Agility Robotics each delivered around 150 units total. The gap is enormous, and China isn't slowing down. Last week, Limex Dynamics announced a $200 million Series B round, one of the largest funding rounds in humanoid robotics history. The round was led by major Chinese investors including Stone Venture, JD, Oriental Fortune Capital, and Co-Stone Capital. Ineo Capital and SAIC Motors Shangqi Capital also participated. The company, founded in January 2022 in Shenzhen, plans to use the funds to scale manufacturing and expand both domestically and internationally. What's driving this dominance? Several factors. Chinese manufacturers have a significant cost advantage. Unitree shocked the market in July 2025 by launching its G1 humanoid at just $5,900, a price point Western companies simply cannot match right now. Chinese models typically range from $6,000 to $14,000, while Western counterparts start at $20,000 and go up from there. There's also substantial policy support and public investment from the Chinese government. And critically, China already has the mature supply chain infrastructure from electric vehicles and consumer electronics manufacturing. The same factories, the same components, the same engineering talent. This is the EV playbook applied to robotics, and anyone who watched that transition should be paying close attention. China recognized the strategic importance of humanoid robots early, made significant public investments, built out the supply chain, and leveraged existing manufacturing infrastructure to achieve scale. While Western companies were still refining prototypes and running research programs, Chinese firms were shipping product to customers. The industry is also undergoing a fundamental shift in focus. At CES 2026, the conversation moved away from hardware spectacle. How fast can your robot run? How many backflips can it do? Toward behavioral intelligence and judgment. The question is no longer can you build a robot that walks. It's can you build a robot that makes good decisions in unpredictable real-world environments. Limex Dynamics' new COSA operating system is designed specifically for this challenge, combining high-level reasoning and decision-making with whole-body motion control. The software layer is becoming the differentiator. The market trajectory is aggressive. Projections show the industry exceeding 100,000 units by 2027. A 6-fold increase from 2025. By 2035, analysts estimate the global humanoid robot market will reach $38 billion, with some estimates projecting $5 trillion by 2050. The companies that achieve scale now will have a massive head start in capturing that value, and right now those companies are overwhelmingly Chinese. The real battleground is moving from hardware to software. Specifically, behavioral intelligence and the ability to operate reliably in unstructured environments. Limex Dynamics is investing heavily in motion control foundation models, and what they call an agentic operating system for physical world operation. Unitree continues to push relentlessly on price performance. The question for Western companies like Tesla, Figure AI, and Boston Dynamics is whether they can compete on capability and brand alone, or if the cost and scale gap is simply too large to overcome. The robots are here. The manufacturing race is largely decided. The intelligence race is just beginning. AI agents with wallets. Humanoid robots at scale. The machines are becoming more autonomous every week, and the infrastructure to support that autonomy is being built right now, funded by billions in venture capital and government investment. The question isn't whether this future is coming. It's who builds it, who controls it, and what decisions get made along the way. If you want to stay informed as this unfolds, subscribe. There's new AI and tech news here every day. See you in the next one.